Hello everyone, in today's video I'm going to review the 2019 Samsung Tab A with S Pen included to let you guys know if this can be a good budget Android tablet for digital sketching. So I bought this tablet on Amazon.com for less than US $240 with shipping included. The first and most important thing you need to know is there are actually two models of Tab A. Both released in 2019. One is simply called Tab A, the other is called Tab A with S Pen included. They may share the same name, but they have very different specifications, so do not buy the wrong tablet. If you buy the Tab A without the S Pen included and later on you go and buy an S Pen, it's not going to work because the normal Tab A, it doesn't have a screen that supports the pen, so you have to buy the right tablet right at the start. This tablet with the pen included, it has better specifications in almost all areas compared to the other tablet. So let me just quickly run through the specifications and tell you what are the main differences and why you shouldn't get the other tablet, the one without the pen. Okay, both tablets, they have 8-inch displays, but this tablet, the one with the pen, comes with an IPS panel, so the colors are better. And it has significantly higher resolution. It's 1920 by 1200. The other tablet only has 1280 by 800. So with this tablet, you will be able to play full HD videos, 1080p videos. So the details, the extra sharpness, that will be very noticeable. The most significant difference is the display here is much better in terms of colors, viewing angles, brightness, resolution. The only downside is this has a smaller battery capacity at just 4200 mAh versus the other tablet without the pen support that has 5100 mAh. Main reason is because there is this slot here for you to put the pen inside, so the battery has to be made smaller in order to accommodate this design. But even with the 4100 mAh battery, you are still going to get around 7, 8, 9 hours depending on the brightness. And the brightness of this display is fantastic. At maximum brightness, you can even use this under the sun. Let's talk about the design. There are thin bezels on the left and right, thicker at the top and bottom. There's this camera here that you can use for face unlock, which thankfully works quite well. The display has good colors, good resolution. Everything looks really sharp. The icons, user interface elements are all very sharp. There's no noticeable pixelation. There is no fingerprint sensor. At the bottom, there is just one speaker. Audio quality is alright, quite good for a single speaker. USB-C for charging and data transfer. Data transfer speeds are at USB 2, and this is for the pen. The pen has a spring-loaded button on the back, so when you press it, that button will pop out and you can pull out the pen. At the top left here, that's the micro SD card slot. 3.5mm audio jack at the top, and on the sides here, the power button and the volume buttons. The sides and the back, it's made with this plastic that has a very nice matte surface feel to it, so you probably don't need to buy an external case for it. The tablet is quite thin and quite light. It's just 325 grams, and I can hold it in one hand like this and draw on it for long periods of time without my hand feeling tired. So it's really that light. Two-hand typing, it's quite comfortable. Overall performance of this tablet is smooth, but sometimes it can be a bit slow. Not the irritating type of slow, but slower compared to more expensive tablets. So let me show you some examples. Loading web pages pretty fast. This page has a lot of pictures and it was able to load up quite fast. Switching between tabs, sometimes require the page to load again. By the way, this model has 3 gigs of RAM versus 2 gigs with the tablet that doesn't support the pen. Switching between tabs are pretty fast, just that sometimes pages have to reload. And scrolling very fast as well. Zooming in and out, navigation, all those are very smooth. And this is quite smooth as well. Launching apps may take a few seconds, but after you launch the app and you go in to use the app's performance, it's smooth. This is going back to the desktop, it's also pretty quick. This tablet is currently running with Samsung One UI version 1.1 and Android version 9. I read somewhere that Samsung is going to upgrade this to Android 10 in the future. The pen included is small as in it's going to be rather uncomfortable to draw with for long periods of time. It feels like I'm drawing with a toothpick. Now there is a side button here. The pen tip has this rubberized tip or material that provides some resistance on glass, so this gives you a bit more control when drawing. You may notice this tip here, it's a bit frayed. That's because earlier on I was trying to use the clipper to pull out the tip to show you guys, but after a few tries I was unsuccessful. It's very difficult to remove this tip, and if I clip too hard, I may actually cut this part, in which case I will never be able to remove the tip. So this is not a good pen, so it means you have to factor in some extra money to buy a better pen. So these are some alternatives. This is the Staedtler Norris Digital, which can be used on Samsung tablets that also support the S Pen. This does not have a shortcut button, but it's cheaper compared to original Samsung S Pens. This is the one that came with the Tab S6. It has a side button here. The pen tip that's used in this is actually different compared to those that are made for the bigger pens. This pen tip is made for those pens that are made for the phones, so it's a bit smaller. Let's do some slow diagonal line jitter test. So this looks quite accurate, as in there is no significant wobble or jitter to the straight lines that I'm trying to draw. So this performance is quite good. Oh, and the display is laminated, so there is no gap between the line and the pen tip. So when you're drawing, it really looks like the line is appearing directly beneath the pen tip. The S Pen supports pressure and tilt sensitivity. Initial activation force is light, but you do have to press down a bit to get the line. Pressure transition from thin to thick, it's quite smooth. There is a little bit of pressure wobble here, but most of the time it was able to maintain consistent pressure. So the thickness of the lines, they come out mostly just the way I expect them to. There is tilt sensitivity. So you can draw with the side of the pen to get those broad strokes. Drawing performance is good. The lines, they also taper quite nicely, so the pen, it's very sensitive. There may be some input lag, as in there may be a gap between the line and the pen tip when the line tries to catch up with the pen tip or the cursor. But with my normal drawing speed, which is the speed that you are looking at right now, the input lag, it's not that much of an issue. This app that I'm using, it's Concepts, and it has perfect palm rejection, because for this particular app you can set the app to only recognize pen input. So when I use my finger on the canvas, it will move the canvas, but it will not introduce any lines. The most important thing about digital styluses such as this is whether or not it can produce the line that you want, the line that you expect. And here with the S Pen, I think it's able to do that rather accurately, as in the lines, they always come out just the way I expect them to. This is Autodesk Sketchbook. The performance here is also very responsive, and again, pressure sensitivity works great. Now the rubberized tip of the S Pen, it does provide some friction, but it can still be a bit slippery. So if you want to sketch fast, or if you are a person who sketch fast, I think this amount of friction is probably just right for you. I wouldn't recommend buying a matte screen protector though, because I'm not sure how the rubber tip will react with the matte screen protector. Anyway, our replacement tips for the Samsung S Pen, very easy to find, and they are also very affordable. This, by the way, is a vegetable store that I am drawing right now. A vegetable store that's located here in my neighborhood. The drawing surface area is smaller compared to A5 size paper. This is an A5 size sketchbook, so it's not that small until it's uncomfortable to draw, but it's small enough for it to be a very compact digital sketching tablet. Having a pen that is big enough for you to grip properly and comfortably is going to make your drawing experience significantly better. Having said that, there is actually a difference between the drawing performance or the sensitivity between these supported pens. Let me show you what I mean. So these lines were drawn with very light pressure. And let me switch over to the pen from the Samsung Galaxy Tab S6. I'm drawing with the same amount of pressure, but you can see the lines here, they are thicker. And now let me switch over to the Norris Digital. Now this sensitivity is similar to the stock pen that came with this tablet. So for some reason, the Tab S6 pen, it has, the lines are thicker. You can still produce thin lines, you just have to pick a smaller brush to begin with. Yep, so now the lines are thinner. By the way, there is no way to adjust the pressure curve or pressure sensitivity from the Samsung settings. And speaking of settings, when you press the side button, Air command will pop up, and I press the side button accidentally all the time. So the software for the Samsung UI, it hasn't been upgraded yet, because for newer versions of the Samsung UI, they actually allow you to turn off Air command. Overall, I'm actually quite satisfied with the drawing performance of this tablet. For a tablet that is under $240 US, this is actually quite good for digital sketching, and it's extremely portable. You can hold this easily with one hand to draw, so you can draw while you're standing as well. The only downside here is, overall performance, it's smooth, but sometimes it takes a while to launch apps. It takes a while for you to do some searches in the Samsung settings. It takes a while to load pages. But once the pages are loaded, once the apps are loaded, performance is smooth, like zooming in and out. It's smooth navigation, it's smooth drawing, it's smooth. Just that some of the operations, it's going to be slow to start up, that's all. Not a major issue for a tablet that is, again, under US $240. This is definitely a tablet I can recommend easily to beginners who want a budget tablet for digital sketching. This is cheaper compared to the iPad 10.2 inch, which starts at US $329, not including the Apple Pencil, which is sold separately for US $99. And this is significantly cheaper compared to the iPad mini 5, which starts at US $399. I mean, the iPads are faster in every way compared to this tablet, but they are also more expensive, and the Apple Pencil is not included. The main downside here is actually this pen, which feels like a toothpick, so you do have to factor in some extra money to get a proper pen. I probably would recommend getting the S Pen. You can get the one from Tab S3, S4, this is S6, S6 Lite. The one that I would recommend would be the one from Tab S4. The reason why I don't recommend this Norris Digital is because the replacement tips, I'm not sure if they actually sell replacement tips for this, but replacement tips for the Tab series pens, they are very easy to find and very affordable. Alright, if you guys have any questions regarding this tablet, let me know in the video description below. I hope this video is helpful. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next video. Bye!